Chosen one, listen carefully, because this message carries weight. What you are about to hear is not meant to create fear, panic, or confusion, but it is urgent. There are moments in time when the spiritual realm presses closer to the physical, when warnings are released not to punish, but to protect. September 22nd, 23, and 24 are not ordinary dates. They mark a critical window, and if this message has found you now, it is not by chance. You are not scrolling randomly. You are not led here by curiosity alone. Something within you sensed a shift before you had words for it, a heaviness in the air, a restlessness in your spirit, a quiet knowing that something is approaching and requires attention. This message is not for everyone. It is for those who are spiritually sensitive, those who feel responsibility rather than excitement when warnings are given. God does not warn to instill fear. God warns to invite alignment. Throughout history, warnings have always preceded change. Before doors close, there is a moment when they are still open. Before consequences unfold, there is an opportunity to choose differently. These 3 days, September 22nd, 23, and 24, represent such a moment. A pause before movement, a breath before impact, a chance to listen before noise returns. Many chosen ones have been feeling unusually alert lately. Sleep may have been lighter, dreams more vivid, thoughts deeper. You may have felt drawn to stillness prayer or reflection without knowing why. You may have felt an unexplainable urgency to get your life in order to release what no longer aligns, to pay attention instead of drifting. These are not coincidences. They are responses to a signal already moving through the spiritual realm. This warning is not about dates on a calendar alone. It is about positioning. Where you are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as this window opens matters. These days amplify what is already within you. Alignment becomes stronger. Misalignment becomes clearer. What has been ignored will surface. What has been delayed will demand attention. For some, these days will feel calm and clarifying. For others, they may feel uncomfortable, exposing, or intense. The difference will not be luck, it will be alignment. This is why the warning matters. Not everyone will experience this window the same way, because not everyone is walking the same path. If you are a chosen one, you already know that warnings are not meant to scare you into obedience. They are meant to awaken discernment. You are not being asked to hide panic or withdraw from the world. You are being asked to pay attention, to slow down, to listen more than you speak, to choose integrity over distraction. God often speaks softly before events become loud. The world may continue as usual on the surface during these dates, but spiritually something is being weighed, measured, and shifted. Decisions made during this time, both conscious and unconscious, carry more weight than usual. This is why awareness matters. As you move forward into this message, do not approach it with fear. Approach it with humility and clarity. Nothing here is meant to harm you. Everything here is meant to guide you. Warnings are acts of mercy. They are signs that you are seen, considered, and cared for. Chosen one, September 22nd, 23, and 24 are not dates to ignore. They are days to be present, grounded, and aligned. What comes next will make more sense if you listen now. Chosen one, not all days are equal in the spiritual realm. While the world measures time by calendars and clocks, divine timing moves by alignment cycles and purpose. September 22nd, 23, and 24 form a concentrated window. 3 consecutive days where spiritual pressure awareness and consequence are heightened. This is not superstition. It is pattern. Throughout history, significant shifts have often occurred within short windows rather than long seasons. These windows act like thresholds. What is unresolved becomes visible. What is aligned becomes strengthened. What is ignored can no longer remain hidden. That is why these dates matter, not because of fear, but because of exposure. September 22nd marks the opening of the window. It is a day of awareness and foundation. Spiritually, it carries the energy of recognition, seeing clearly what has been avoided or postponed. Many will feel an inner nudge to reflect honestly on their lives. Choices, habits, relationships, and directions that once felt manageable may suddenly feel heavy or out of place. This is not punishment. It is clarity arriving. September 23rd is the center point, and it carries intensity. This day amplifies truth. What is real becomes undeniable. What is false becomes uncomfortable. Emotionally, this can feel like pressure, restlessness, or the urge to make decisions. Spiritually sensitive people may feel this day strongly, even if nothing dramatic happens outwardly. This is because internal alignment is being tested, not judged but tested. September 24th represents consequence and confirmation, not consequence as punishment, but as outcome. Whatever direction you lean toward during the previous 2 days becomes more firmly established. Peace follows alignment. Resistance follows avoidance. This is the day where choices settle into momentum. What you decide to release stays released. What you choose to carry forward gains strength. Together, these 3 days function as a sequence, not separate events. Awareness leads to confrontation. Confrontation leads to direction. This is why ignoring the window can feel unsettling afterward. It is not that something bad automatically happens, it is that an opportunity for correction passes quietly. Chosen ones feel this more deeply because responsibility increases awareness. When you are called to walk with discernment, your spirit reacts faster to shifts in timing. You may feel an urgency that others do not understand. You may feel pressure without visible cause. This does not mean something terrible is coming. It means something important is being offered. Another reason these dates carry weight is because they arrive during a larger period of instability. When systems are uncertain and truth feels blurred, spiritual windows serve as recalibration points. They invite individuals back into alignment before confusion deepens. Think of them as checkpoints rather than deadlines. It is important to understand that nothing is forced during this window. Free will remains intact. The warning exists so you can choose consciously rather than drift unconsciously. Alignment chosen willingly brings peace. Alignment avoided brings friction. Chosen one, these dates are not meant to dominate your thoughts with fear. They are meant to sharpen your awareness. Pay attention to what rises within you. Notice what feels heavy and what feels calm. Truth will not rush you, but it will reveal itself clearly. September 22nd, 20, 23, and 24 are spiritually significant because they offer something rare, a moment to pause, see clearly, and adjust course before momentum carries forward. Those who listen will feel steadier afterward. Those who ignore it may feel unsettled without knowing why. This is why the warning matters, not because danger is guaranteed, but because alignment is available. Chosen one, this warning unfolds across 3 days for a reason. Each day carries a distinct spiritual function, and together they form a progression that guides awareness into action. Understanding the role of each day helps you move through this window with clarity rather than confusion. September 22nd is the day of awakening and assessment. This is when the spiritual signal becomes noticeable. You may feel an inner pull to slow down, reflect, or question the direction you have been moving in. On this day, distractions begin to lose their grip. What once felt urgent may suddenly feel unnecessary. This is the day your spirit asks honest questions. What am I avoiding? What am I carrying that no longer aligns? Where have I been silent when I should have been truthful? This day is not about making drastic changes. It is about seeing clearly. Awareness is the foundation of alignment, and September 22nd lays that foundation. Emotionally, this day may feel quiet but heavy. Thoughts surface that you have pushed aside. Memories, realizations, or uncomfortable truths may arise without invitation. Do not resist this. Resistance creates friction. Observation creates clarity. Let insight arrive without judgment. What you notice on this day will guide everything that follows. September 23rd is the day of confrontation and choice. This is the most intense point of the window. What was revealed on the 22nd now demands response. You may feel internal pressure to decide, speak, release, or commit. This pressure is not external. It comes from alignment, trying to establish itself fully. On this day, spiritual sensitivity increases. Emotions may be amplified. Situations may arise that mirror the truths you uncovered the day before. Conversations may feel charged. You may feel torn between comfort and integrity. This is where discernment matters. Avoid reacting impulsively, but do not ignore what your spirit is clearly signaling. September 23rd tests honesty, not perfection honesty. Half-truths, avoidance, and self-deception become uncomfortable. This is why some people feel restless or unsettled on this day. It is not because something is wrong. It is because something is being clarified. September 24th is the day of confirmation and direction. This day seals what you have chosen internally. The tension begins to settle, and a sense of peace or discomfort follows depending on alignment. If you responded with honesty and awareness, this day often brings calm, relief, or clarity. If you avoided what needed attention, this day may feel dull, heavy, or disconnected. This is not punishment. It is feedback. September 24th establishes momentum. Decisions made internally over the previous 2 days begin to influence the coming weeks. You may notice shifts in energy, motivation, or focus. Some things may naturally fall away. Others may become clearer and stronger. Taken together, these days form a spiritual process. Awareness, choice, direction, This is why the warning matters. Without awareness, choices are unconscious. Without choice, direction is accidental. The chosen are called to move consciously. You are not expected to handle this window perfectly. You are asked to handle it honestly. Even small adjustments made with sincerity carry power during this time. Chosen one, do not overthink these days. Stay present. Pay attention to what your spirit highlights. Rest when needed. Speak truth gently. Release what feels heavy. Trust what brings peace. These 3 days are not about fear of what might happen. They are about awareness of what can change when you listen. Chosen one, this warning is not directed at everyone. It is not meant for those who listen out of curiosity, entertainment, or fear. It is meant for those who feel responsibility when truth is revealed. The chosen are not defined by titles, popularity, or spiritual appearance. They are defined by awareness, discernment, and an inner sense of accountability. If you are among the chosen, you have likely felt different for much of your life. Not superior different. You may have questioned systems early on. You may have sensed when something was off, even when others accepted it easily. You may have felt an inner pull toward truth, integrity, and meaning that could not be satisfied by surface-level answers. These traits are not accidental. They are indicators of sensitivity to alignment. The chosen often carry an internal moral compass that reacts strongly to dishonesty, manipulation, or injustice. This does not mean you are perfect. It means your spirit does not tolerate misalignment easily. When you ignore your inner knowing, you feel it through restlessness, fatigue, or emotional weight. This sensitivity is part of why warnings matter more to you. This message is also for those who have walked through seasons of isolation, not because you were rejected, but because solitude refined your discernment. In isolation, you learn to listen inwardly, rather than rely on external approval. You learn strength without applause, faith without certainty. These experiences prepared you to recognize timing and respond without needing reassurance. Another sign this warning is for you is an increased sense of urgency, not panic, but clarity. You may feel that certain behaviors, relationships, or patterns can no longer continue as they are. What once felt tolerable now feels heavy. This is alignment calling for adjustment. The chosen are not here to judge others or withdraw from the world. They are here to walk consciously within it. When warnings are given, they listen not because they are afraid, but because they understand consequence. Awareness brings responsibility. Responsibility brings choice. It is important to understand that being chosen does not mean being protected from difficulty. It means being accountable for response. When you are aware and choose to ignore guidance, discomfort increases. When you respond with honesty, peace follows even if circumstances remain challenging. Many who are not chosen will pass through these dates without noticing anything unusual. That does not make them wrong or lesser. It simply means their role is different. The chosen feel the weight of timing because they are positioned to act as anchors of clarity when others drift. Chosen one, if this message resonates deeply, rather than exciting or frightening you, that resonance is your confirmation. You do not need to claim a label. You do not need to explain yourself. Awareness itself sets you apart. This warning exists because you are capable of responding to it, not with fear, but with integrity, discernment, and trust. Chosen. One urgency does not always arrive as chaos or fear. Often true urgency arrives as clarity, a quiet but undeniable knowing that now is different from before. This is the kind of urgency surrounding September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. These dates are not meant to provoke panic. They are meant to sharpen awareness. Timing matters because spiritual growth does not happen in isolation from action. There are moments when insight is offered, and there are moments when response is required. This is one of those moments. The energy surrounding these days amplifies consequence. Decisions made now carry more weight, not because the universe is harsh, but because alignment is more accessible. You may notice that things feel accelerated. Thoughts move faster, emotions surface more clearly. Patterns that once hid in the background are now impossible to ignore. This is not coincidence. It is exposure. Exposure is not punishment, it is invitation. What is revealed can finally be addressed. The urgency exists because delay reinforces stagnation. When guidance is repeated and ignored, resistance strengthens. When guidance is acknowledged and acted upon, momentum follows. These days act as a pressure point, revealing where you are aligned and where you are avoiding truth. For the chosen, hesitation feels heavier now because your awareness has increased. You know, when something is misaligned, even if you cannot articulate why, continuing forward without adjustment creates inner friction. That friction is the signal. It is telling you that something must shift. This urgency also relates to responsibility. As someone who sees more clearly, your choices ripple outward. When you choose integrity, you stabilize not only yourself, but the environments you move through. When you delay, confusion spreads. This is why the call feels personal. Do not confuse urgency with force. You are not being pushed. You are being invited to step into coherence, to bring your actions into agreement with your understanding, to close the gap between what you know and how you live. These days are not about drastic external change. They are about internal decision. Alignment begins privately through honesty, release, and commitment. Once that internal shift occurs, external movement follows naturally. If you feel pressure, pause and listen rather than react. Urgency asks for presence, not panic. Ground yourself. Observe what is rising. Ask what is being highlighted rather than what you fear losing. Chosen one, this moment matters because you are ready. Readiness does not mean certainty. It means willingness. The universe does not demand perfection, only participation. Respond to this urgency with intention. Choose awareness over avoidance. Choose alignment over comfort. The path forward is opening now, and your response will determine how smoothly you move through it. Chosen one, once urgency is recognized, the next step is preparation. Preparation is not about fear or extreme action. It is about alignment. Alignment means bringing your inner world, your thoughts, intentions, and beliefs into harmony with the direction your spirit is being called to move. During these days, preparation begins with stillness. Noise clouds discernment. The more external distraction you allow, the harder it becomes to hear what truly matters. This is a time to intentionally slow down. Create space for reflection, prayer, or meditation. Whatever allows you to reconnect with your inner knowing. Clarity does not shout, it reveals itself when you are quiet enough to listen. Alignment also requires honesty. You cannot prepare for a new level while clinging to old patterns. Ask yourself what feels heavy, forced, or draining. These sensations are not random. They are indicators of misalignment. Relationships, habits, environments, or beliefs that once felt safe may now feel restrictive. This does not mean they were wrong. It means you have outgrown them. Releasing what no longer serves you is a form of respect for your future self. Letting go may feel uncomfortable because familiarity often disguises itself as security, but comfort that blocks growth eventually becomes a burden. These days invite you to choose expansion over attachment. Preparation also involves intention. What you focus on during this window matters. Your thoughts are not neutral, they shape your perception and influence your actions. When you focus on fear, you reinforce uncertainty. When you focus on purpose, you strengthen direction. Choose your focus deliberately. This is also a time to refine your commitments. Half decisions create stalled outcomes. If you have been wavering between paths, this is the moment to clarify your direction. Alignment requires decisiveness, not perfection. Even small, intentional steps taken with clarity carry more power than large actions taken in confusion. Emotionally, you may feel sensitive or exposed. This is part of the process. Sensitivity is not weakness, it is awareness. Allow emotions to surface without judgment. What arises is information. What you suppress becomes resistance. Preparation is not about doing more. It is about doing what is essential. Nourish your body. Rest when needed. Protect your energy. The more grounded you are physically, the easier it becomes to remain clear spiritually. Chosen one alignment is an internal agreement to move forward truthfully. You are not being asked to become someone new. You're being asked to return to who you already are, without distortion, without fear, without compromise. Respond to this warning by choosing clarity, simplicity, and intention. When you prepare inwardly, the outer path organizes itself. The universe meets coherence with support. This is how you move forward with stability and strength. Chosen one, every spiritual warning carries a choice. Not a threat, not a punishment, but a decision point. September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th are not forcing an outcome upon you. They are revealing the path you are already walking and asking whether you are willing to walk it consciously. Action does not always mean dramatic change. Sometimes action is a quiet inner decision to stop denying what you already know, to stop postponing what your spirit has been urging you to face. Inaction, on the other hand, is not neutral. It is a choice to remain where you are, even when your soul is asking for movement. When you act in alignment, momentum begins to build. Doors open naturally. Confusion clears. The path may not become easy, but it becomes honest. You begin to feel supported rather than resisted. This is how alignment feels: less inner conflict, more inner certainty. When you ignore the call, the signs do not disappear. They repeat. Life will continue to present the same lessons in different forms until they are acknowledged. This is not punishment, it is persistence. Growth delayed becomes discomfort prolonged. The consequences spoken of here are energetic, not catastrophic. Alignment brings clarity, peace, and expansion. Avoidance brings stagnation, fatigue, and frustration. Many chosen ones struggle not because they lack ability, but because they resist the moment they are meant to step forward. You may notice that the old ways no longer work. Strategies that once helped you cope now feel empty. Distractions that once numbed you now leave you restless. This is not failure. This is readiness. The old tools are insufficient because you are meant for a higher level of responsibility. These days ask you to decide how you will respond when truth presents itself. Will you listen and adjust, or acknowledge and delay? Both paths exist, but only one leads forward. Action requires courage, but courage does not mean fearlessness. It means moving despite uncertainty. Faith is not knowing the outcome. It is trusting the direction. You are not required to see the entire path, only to take the next honest step. Chosen one, your power lies in response. Awareness without action becomes burden. Awareness with action becomes transformation. This is why the warning feels intense. It carries potential. Nothing is being taken from you. Everything being asked of you is already within your capacity. You have survived preparation. You have gained discernment. You have learned restraint. Now comes participation. This is not about proving worth. You were already chosen. This is about honoring that choice through integrity and movement. The universe responds to readiness, not hesitation. Stand at this moment with clarity. Choose alignment over delay. Choose truth over comfort. The path ahead will meet you the moment you decide to walk it. Chosen one, as this message comes to a close, understand this truth above all others. You did not encounter this warning by accident. Every word, every reminder, every sense of urgency you felt while listening was meant to reach you at this exact moment. September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th are not ordinary days passing on a calendar. They are a spiritual crossroads, a window where awareness, choice, and alignment converge. You have been prepared for this moment, even through experiences that once felt confusing, painful, or unnecessary. The delays, the isolation, the inner battles, all of it was shaping your discernment. Now you are able to recognize truth when it appears, and more importantly, recognize when it is time to act. This is not about fear of missing out. It is about readiness to step forward. Remember, being chosen does not mean life becomes easier. It means life becomes clearer. You are no longer meant to drift numb or settle. You are meant to live with intention, integrity, and spiritual awareness. These days are an invitation to reaffirm that commitment to yourself, to your path, and to the purpose placed within you. Do not underestimate the power of small, conscious decisions. Alignment begins quietly, a release, a boundary, a choice to be honest. A decision to trust your inner guidance instead of silencing it. These moments may seem simple, but they redirect entire futures. If doubt arises, do not interpret it as failure. Doubt often appears at the threshold of growth. Let it pass without allowing it to rule you. Return to stillness. Return to faith. Return to what you know in your spirit to be true. You are not expected to be perfect. You are expected to be present. As you move through these days, remain grounded. Protect your energy. Stay focused. Pay attention to what surfaces and what falls away. Both are forms of guidance. What remains after clarity arrives is what you are meant to carry forward. Chosen one, this is not the end of a message. It is the beginning of a response. Step into this moment fully. The path ahead is